Shit, the Victor Colorado keyboard. Mind bender.
Getting a little silly here. The ceremonial Diet Coke. No alcohol this week, folks. Comments. Good evening, everybody. How are you? This is Bill. You're watching Bill's Box of Sound. Welcome to another Saturday night. Sorry I wasn't here last week. Just things were just not right to have a show going on. But I wanted to have a show this week and get some good things going on. Just cover some things that have been going on over the past couple weeks and stuff. Oh, there's both my hands. And I don't know, we can get some talk going. If you got any questions, just pop them in the old chat room down below. Please, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, pretty please hit the subscribe button. Well, hit the like button more than anything else. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to subscribe. If you don't want to hit the like button, you don't have to hit the like button. But if you do, it'll be nice because like-minded individuals will be recommended this video. And hey, that's all. That's what it's all about. You know, hipping people to this type of stuff you like, so that other like people will like. And you know, I like that. Sometimes I love it, but you never know. Anyway, it's December 10th. Let's see, if you look at the name of the live stream 16, December 10. That looks like a sports score to me, but what the hey. And we may have Roman joining us at any second. He was a big hit on the last live stream. People like Roman, and hey, what's not to like? He's the best. Anyway, I want to get a few uncomfortable things out of the way first. It's flu season, and if you've been under a rock and haven't been watching the news, excuse me, lots of people are getting the flu. I got it this week, even though I've had all my COVID shots. I've been boosted twice, and I get my flu shot every year because I have a condition, diabetes, which makes me susceptible to certain diseases. So I get a flu shot every year, the first week of October. And even though I had the flu shot, I did catch the flu for a few days this past week. I was really scared when I started getting sick. I went and got a COVID test right away and checked myself out. No COVID, because I've had that once back at the beginning of 2011, and that ain't no fun whatsoever. But had a lovely little 24-hour flu then. Ugh, it was terrible. I had a fever. I was popping Tylenols, drinking chicken soup, not getting much of a good diet. But that's that. And we are lovers, and that is that. I want to talk about David Bowie a little bit later on in this hour. So, anyway, if you don't have your flu shot, get your flu shot. If you don't want to get your flu shot and you don't want to get sick, wear a mask when you go out. I know the times of lockdowns and having to stay inside and make yourself homebound because of COVID. Hopefully, those days are over forever. But the flu ain't no joke. So if you want to keep from getting the flu, or if you think you might have something, spreading it to others, especially when you go indoors, when you go out and like you go into stores and stuff, people are shopping for Christmas stuff. It's more crowded than it's been all year long. Now that people are happy that they actually can go out and go shopping, wear those masks. They help out. I've started wearing a mask when I go out shopping. Um, so that's a little public service there. Other kind of little public service thing that I wanted to talk about was there's a show that I watch every Friday night, almost every Friday night, whenever I have the chance to. It's called Grown Man Record Night. Um, they've got a channel on Twitch and they've got a channel on YouTube. If you've never seen the show before, I recommend you check it out. It's hilarious. But it has to do with vinyl and music and fellowship among those sort. Excuse me. And Mikey Bananas and Steve Fever and Jay. Sometimes all three of them, but lately it's just been Mikey uh, taking the reins and just doing it every week. It's Mikey's show, and he's awesome. Some really off the wall comedy as well. Some of it can be a little off kilter, off color, but hey, I like seeing all those little different colors of the spectrum, even though they are sometimes not as beautiful as they might be in some other people's eyes. But they talk a lot about music, and especially every Friday night, I think about 8:30 or so, they go on Twitch and they DJ. They play records, all sorts of things. You'll get turned on to music you don't know about. And I've bought many records based on stuff that they've played just because it was so cool. Some pretty fun visuals. However, bad news in the Grown Man Record Night family. Um, Mikey's fiance uh, suddenly passed away past couple weeks, and as expected, Mikey didn't do the show this week, and he's not going to be doing it for a while. He came out and did a short video. You might want to take a look on the Grown Man Record Night channel. It's like a 3-minute video, and he explains the situations, and it's completely understandable why he feels this way. Um, he's in a very very difficult situation. Uh, Lots of sympathy. I can't possibly imagine what this kind of loss could feel like. I mean, I've had close people to me die, but the way that this happened to him, it's just unimaginable. So, lots of love to Mikey Bananas, and however long it takes for you to come back and start streaming again. And he also said that he has a feeling that when he starts streaming again, he's going to do it much more often. So the more the merrier. So sending out our love and good wishes to Mikey at Grown Man Record Night. If you haven't checked out the channel, check it out. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but if it is, it's a lot of fun. And we have a visitor in the room. Who is it? You got your PJs on, dude. It's Roman. Oh, how are you?
Good.
You're good. It's okay. Well, I could just see the very top of your head out of the camera. Maybe if I bend this down a bit, see, I can bounce him up and down. he's he's a little bitty Roman. So, did you have a good week? I hear that you're going to be doing something for the musical at your school this year. You're going to be singing?
No.
No?
I'm going to do an electric guitar.
You're going to play electric guitar? Do you know how to play the guitar that you have already? You do? Has anybody been showing you the strings?
My music teacher.
Your music teacher. What's your music teacher's name?
Mrs. Stilla.
Mrs. Stilla?
Yeah, the one that I had last year.
Okay. Well, that's very cool. I would like to meet her sometime. I bet you she's. I mean, so you know the names of the strings?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the high string? What's that?
6.
Well, well, yeah, yeah. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. But do you know what that note is?
Well, we don't use
You don't use that.
the 5th or 6th.
Oh, okay.
So we do it like this.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to sit down with you because Roman got a guitar. Thanks to our dear friend Kevin S. Hart.
Hold on, I'll get my guitar.
He's going to go get his guitar. One of our faithful viewers, Kevin Hart, out in Wyoming. He is a guitar teacher, and he had an extra children's guitar, and he sent it out to us. Hey, there he is. Hey, Kevin, and he'll be right back. He went to get his guitar. He sent him a guitar since he seemed interested in it, and he had the extra one to give out to us, and that was very, 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 very cool. So he's only had the guitar for a few days. I want to teach him all the different parts of the guitar, and what the strings are, and what the frets do, and all that other fun stuff. But I guess his music teacher is teaching him how to do some very simple things. And he's going to be playing guitar. Oh, I hear it. I hear the guitar. There it is. There's a guitar. Now let's see if it's still in tune. Can I hold up for a second? Let's see. Almost completely in tune. I will tune that for you later on to make sure. I think there's just one string that got out of tune there. But okay. Quick question for you, Ro.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin's here, and he says, hey there, Roman.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the guy who sent you the guitar. Have you started to learn how to use one of these? It's a pick.
Yep.
You know how to use it?
Like one of these. Like that.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in your finger. Oh no!
You had a blue one.
A blue one?
Yeah.
I'll get you a blue one.
It's way worse.
Well, it's different. It's different. There are some people that don't use a pick at all.
I don't use
like you. Okay. Okay. So Roman has shown us his guitar, and that's fantastic. So let's talk about some records and music. What do you say? I'm sorry, I don't have a wide angle camera to show you, but okay. Uh-oh. He says, "Do not chew on the pick." Why not, young man? Now, I've known people who what they love to do is like if they've got a guitar picker, they've got a guitar pick, and they want people to know that they're the guitar player. They'll walk around and have the guitar pick sitting out of their mouth. You know, they'll play with it in their mouth, or they're spin it around inside their mouth, and they think they're really cool and all that. But you know, dangerous.
I know not to chew anything that's not edible.
Did you hear that? Do not chew anything that's not edible. Those are wise words from my grandson. So anyway, music that's coming out. There was an email that I got from the band Presidents of the United States of America, also called POTUSA. They have a couple of vinyl releases coming out. It's a company called Bandbox. And if you go to bandboxrocks.com, you can find out about reissues of the very first Presidents of the United States of America album, and also a very first on vinyl release of their demo tapes called Froggy Style, which is very cool. What? He says, click there. Let's see.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Says not that you ever did it. Yeah, I was one of those people who used to chew on the pick. That was not a smart thing for me to do. But this is a long, long time ago. Anyway, so but if you're interested in getting it now, you can buy a subscription to this band box thing, or you can just buy the records outright. I don't know when they're going to be shipping, but it's like $40 for a record. If you buy a membership to Bandbox, it goes down to $31.99. But I took a look at the other
ah,
I took a look at the other. Wait a second.
my mom and my grandma just texted.
Oh yeah, actually, I think that they texted the family. Let's take a look. Let's see. No, just grandma. Just grandma texted me. That's it. Anyway,
Good thing.
you want to see that one?
Yeah.
It's Mooney the Looney. It says Merry Christmas or Xmas.
That's not how you spell Christmas.
Well, it's a short way of spelling Christmas. Sometimes I do that. I go Xmas. And I do that with Thanksgiving too. I go X-giving. It's just a silly thing to do. What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You are crazy.
That's my grandson. And I'm happy. I like being crazy sometimes, but sometimes I'm serious, right?
Mhm.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, if you're into the presidents, as they also are known, check them out. It's bandboxrocks.com, and you can find those limited edition colored vinyl masterpieces of early POT USA records. And aside from Froggy Style, let's see, where is it? Is it right here? Nope. Oh, do I have it up here?
My chair is glued to my butt.
Your chair is glued to your butt. What the heck's going on there? Okay, here we are. Okay. The other record that they are putting out is their debut album. Let's see. What we got. Sirius and Robux. You know what? That joke is so dated. I don't want to explain it to him right now.
I know what Robux is.
What is a Robux?
It's
Do you know?
money in
Nope.
uh
A long time ago,
Roblox.
there used to be a store that you could go to. It was called Sears. Okay. But long time ago, before they were just called Sears, it was the Sears and Roebuck Company. I guess there were two guys. There was a Sears and there was a Roebuck. And the word Sears also sounds like serious. So we would do this joke where it's like, you can't be serious. And they say, I'm serious. It says, you're serious? It says, yes, I'm serious. Well, I'm Roebuck. Let's start a company.
Yeah.
I know. Very silly. Very silly. Yes, it's true. We are so old. Thank you. You know, I should have you as my moderator. You can remotely do stuff. Uh-oh. Somebody's taking a picture of us.
No, we're in the black. No pictures.
No pictures.
Hold it to her.
Uh-oh.
Let it.
His grandmother is over at the door, and she's not going to show herself.
Just show yourself in the vlog.
Anyway, okay. Next thing. Oh, a quick review. Remember we showed this last time?
Yeah, last time.
This is a DVD of the movie. It's a documentary in the Court of the Crimson King. It's about 2 hours long or so, and it is a documentary about the 50-year anniversary of the band King Crimson. And I checked it out, and I liked it. However, Oh, now Kevin's spouting Firesign Theater jokes. Gotta love it. Um, but let's talk about In the Court of the Crimson King. It is a documentary. It's about kind of about the history of the band of King Crimson, mostly about how the band, now that it's 50 years old and they've gone on hiatus for a while, w- during the last year of the band, or the last few years of the band, Robert Fripp, who was the only mainstay of the entire 50 years, is happier than he's ever been with the state of King Crimson. And they too do talk a bit about the original King Crimson, which in the first year of them being a within a year of their first album coming out, they lost two of their original members, Ian McDonald and Michael Giles, and they talk about how that affected the band and how Robert Fripp has been pretty much it's been his baby the whole time along. They also do spend a lot of time talking about the 80s version of King Crimson, where it was a quartet of Robert Fripp, Bill Bruford, Tony Levin, and Adrian Belew. And all four of those folks talk about the 80s incarnation of the band. It's pretty interesting as well. And then they go and talk to each of the individual members of the band. Uh, I believe they started filming this sometime in 2020. And it also talks about people in the band who are two members of the band that became deceased since the start of the movie are Ian McDonald, one of the original members, and Bill Rieflin, who, if you recognize that name, you might not associate it with King Crimson. He was a member of Ministry and the Revolting Cocks and that whole staple of bands. And when he got into King Crimson, he was having health troubles, and his health troubles just compounded and got worse and worse. He is no longer with us, and he discusses all of this in the film. That's very interesting. You also get a lot of very introspective things about how Robert Fripp feels about music, what it should do, what it shouldn't do, how the making of music in his philosophy should be disciplined, and variations on that theme. You also get to talk to some King Crimson super fans. Um, it's interesting, but would I recommend it? Not to everybody. If you're already a big King Crimson fan and you want to learn more about the band, or you've just started to get into King Crimson and you're very, very interested in it, yeah, I would definitely be into that. However, if you are um, if you are not knowledgeable about any King Crimson history, or you want to watch this film to find out about King Crimson and get into it, this is not the film for you. For example, there's another documentary that I watched. It was Gimme Danger, the documentary about Iggy Pop and the Stooges. Definitely one for people who are already fans of Iggy Pop and the Stooges. Definitely not a film for people who are complete newcomers to Iggy Pop. So, and let's see. Yes, my wife and one of my daughters is texting about Roman being on the show. But I think Roman got tired of this talk that is non-entertaining to him, so he's left the room for now. But that's okay. It's getting late. He may be in bed soon. So that's how I feel about King Crimson. I'm not going to get any really deep things into it. I enjoyed it. It covers a lot of things, but if you're not already a King Crimson fan, proceed with caution for this movie in the Court of the Crimson King. I believe it's available on some streaming outlets on a pay-per-view, and it is available as a combination DVD Blu-ray set. I don't know why they put it out like this. The first disc is a Blu-ray, the second one's a DVD. It contains exactly the same material at two different resolutions. I would hope that they would have like different supplemental material. Oh, the supplemental material is kind of fun too. Um, there was an early cut of the film, which I believe was called Cosmic F asterisk KC, which is kind of like a play on the F word in King Crimson, which is a 23-minute edit from the early version of the film. They've got the last performance of Starless, recorded December 8th, 2021 in Bunkamura, Tokyo. And we've also got three short films, Schizophrenia, Widows, Rain Dance, and a trailer for the movie as well. So if that's your cup of tea, that's what you're into. But I would have liked to have had different bonus material on each of the two discs, so there would be more to get into it. So that's that. But yeah, I got a couple of things here. Yes, he was a fantastic drummer, Mooney. Never got to meet him, but I saw him both with let's see, if he was live with the Cox when I saw them, it was a lot of fun. I've seen Ministry once, and I've seen Revolting Cox once. Ministry was it was on the same tour that produced the live album. In case you didn't feel like showing up, and excuse me, see, I think the Revolting Cox was right the Beer Steers and Queers tour, but then you know, amazing stuff that he did with King Crimson as well. And Kevin had the good fortune to speak with Mr. Fripp. I got to speak to him once, even though I met him twice, and I'll explain that in a minute. But yeah, back in the 80s, before King Crimson reformed and did the Discipline, Beat, and Three of a Perfect Pair album, Robert Fripp came out with the Exposure album, and he did a tour of Frippertronics. He played at Record Revolution in on Coventry in Cleveland. And speaking of that, that store is going to close soon. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. Let me just write that down so I don't forget to talk about it. Let's see. Record Revolution. Okay. Record Revolution. But anyway, so I did an interview for Robert with the Scene magazine. I've got to find that tape someplace because I've got it on a cassette. And I was talking to him about making music and King Crimson. And I was also interested in his philosophy through J.G. Bennett and Gurdjieff, because it seemed as though he had some kind of a religious thing going on with that, but it's just a philosophy of life, much deeper that I could comprehend at that time. And he also talks about it a little bit in the film. Uh, but nonetheless, it was an interesting conversation. But yeah, he can definitely. Oh yeah, Record Revolution. Yeah. Well, what they did is they had a thing where people went into the basement of Record Revolution and they had some equipment set up like in the middle. They had a guitar amp, they had two reel-to-reel recorders, they had a stool, and Fripp walked in with his guitar and he gave a little speech, and then he said, "I'm now going to perform. Please do not applaud or make any noise." And he plugged in, started the tapes going, doing the Frippertronics thing, and he created some heavenly sounds for about, say, half an hour. Actually, I think he did 2 pieces. Each one was about 20 some pieces, 20 some minutes long. Now, some of he did a tour of this across the nation, and I think that one or two of these pieces ended up on the Let the Power Fall album. Let's see. Let me see if I have that away. In my absence, you will be entertained by Roman's guitar. Let's see. F-O-F-R. Frankie Fripp. Is this it? No, that's Frigid Pink. I'll just grab all of these. All right, we're going to get a tour here. A quick tour of Robert Fripp albums. Let's see. Oh, and some of these are from my damaged LP collection, but these are all first pressings. Some of them are promos. But let's start with Exposure. This is the album that Robert was promoting when I talked to him. And let's see. We've also got the God Save the Queen album, which is also called Under Heavy Manners. A lot of text on that. Let's see here. David Byrne's on this album, as a matter of fact. And what else? Didn't say all that much, but he talks about the categories of Frippertronics on here. But I think that the album Let the Power Fall, let's see. This, I think, has some Frippertronics from that tour. Let's see. Oh, okay. I can tell you the date that happened. Yep, June 1979. June 14th, 1979, at Record Revolution in Cleveland. He did his and Let the Power Fall is an album of Frippertronics that was recorded at different locations. Is that This Begins Where God Save the Queen ended, and then the League of Gentlemen album is a continuation of my interest in dance music, originally expressed in discotronics and represented under Heavy Manners. Let the Power Fall can be seen as a fifth step in the trilogy on the drive to 1981 and completes my recording commitment for this first 3-year campaign. So, yeah, this is an album of Frippertronics, and yeah, he did perform at Record Revolution in Cleveland. Now, I'll show you some other Robert Fripp albums. We've got Network, in which, who's he looking like there? He almost looks like who was the guy who played Richie Valens in La Bamba? Looks kind of like him. La, 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 Bamba. All right, but that's the Network album with Daryl Hall, Peter Gabriel, and David Byrne. This is the League of Gentlemen, God Save the King. And this has on here Robert on guitar. And you've also got, let's see, where's the, let's see, I got some press material here. Heavy Mannerisms, all sorts of other press stuff here. The in-print discography at the time of Robert Fripp. But I believe that on this album, Sarah Lee is the bass player. Let's see. It does not say. on here for some bizarre reason. Okay, here we go. Phil Duskin drums, Buster Jones bass, Robert Fripp guitar. No, 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 no. And here we go. Barry Andrews on organ, X of XTC. Robert Fripp guitar, Sarah Lee on bass, and Johnny Too Bad on drums. That I think, since they've got the photo on the back of this album, that's who plays on this one. So there, and all of that. Let's put all this away. That's God Save the King with Fripp and League of Gentlemen. Another League of Gentlemen album. No, wait a second. Da-da-da-da. This has the same photo. I'm going to have to re-listen to all these records. Check all this stuff out. And of course, back to exposure. Let's catch up on our comments here. Hello, Chief Dancing Ostrich. Been a long time since I've seen you. You know stuff about sound. A, if I record my voice at regular speed, play it back at half, and mimic the sounds with my own voice while recording that at regular speed, and play that back at double speed, why does it sound strange and funny and not high-pitched, but regular sounding? Let me read that over again and see if I can comprehend it, because that's a lot of stuff to throw at you. If I record my voice at regular speed, play it back at half speed, and mimic the sounds with my own voice while recording that, and then play that back at double speed, why does it sound strange and funny and not high-pitched but regular sounding? Well, it probably sound like a mix between the two, because you're singing an octave lower, but because of the dimensions of your vocal cords, it's going to sound a bit thinner when you speed it back up to normal speed. Similar results can be obtained, and I've done this before, is if you've got a pitch shifter. I don't play with auto-tune, but I used to have a pitch shifter. It was a Yamaha rack mount thing where I could bring my voice down a step at a time or half step at a time, and I would record things and shift them down an octave and then play them back at double speed, and that would sound like it was my normal voice speaking uncontrollably fast, but with a lot of choppiness in there, a little electronic choppiness going on. So that's interesting stuff you're talking about there, Dancing Ostrich. Little different things going on with your voice. But I'm going to get back to Record Revolution and talking about that. As a matter of fact, if you look on Facebook, you can. I'm going to read the actual statement about it. Let's see here. Let's go to Record Revolution. And let's see. Here we go. Record Revolution. Is this the right one? Yep. 1832 Coventry Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Okay. So yeah, they're selling everything to the walls, and here we go. Today I come to Facebook with a heavy heart, and this is from being stated by the guy who either runs or owns Record Revolution, as it is nowadays. Today I come to Facebook with a heavy heart. After much calculation, consideration, and deliberation, we have decided to close the doors on our long-standing beloved brick-and-mortar store, Record Revolution. This decision did not come easily. We've enjoyed being a member of the Coventry community with its spirit of entrepreneurship, diversity, and encouragement of free thought and expression for 55 years. Through those years, we have made many fond memories and personal connections with you, our valued customers. And without your support, we never would have made it this far. So, a sincere and heartfelt thank you to all of you for this amazing experience of a lifetime. Starting on Monday, November 28th, we will go to a reduced hour schedule of Monday through Saturday, noon to 7, and Sunday, noon to 5. That will remain in place until the last day we are open to the public, which will be December 31st, 2022. I'm guessing they're going to be closed on Christmas Day. And maybe they'll have abbreviated hours on Christmas Eve. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Excuse me. So, post pictures, come into the shop and say hello or goodbye. Give a hug, handshake, or a wave, and know that you've been part of something truly special and that you will be missed. Goodbye for now, and have a wonderful holiday season. And yeah, there's a picture. There was a article on Cleveland.com about a Record Revolution on Coventry to close after 55 years. And let's see, what else did they have there? We started selling body jewelry in 1988, make us one of the first places in the nation to offer gauges, tunnels, tapers, and plugs. From now until the end, we are offering half off all body jewelry. And of course, they've got the last of their t-shirts and hoodies. And what I have to say about Record Revolution is, yes, I have shopped there over the years. And it used to be one of the best places in Cleveland to get records. But they've changed hands a few times. And nowadays, if you go into there, it's basically a head shop and boutique with a couple of records that happen to be in stock. A friend of mine went there, took some pictures, and he sent me some pictures of like just a stack of 45s with no sleeves on them, just sitting there in a bin. And it was kind of sad. But all good things must come to an end, and Record Revolution at one time was more than good. It was very, very great. So that's what's happening. I know that when I talked to Joe Travers, the Vaultmeister, during my interview, he talked about since there's no decent record stores in Erie, as far as he's concerned, he would come to Cleveland with his friends, save up their money, and they would go to Coventry and go to Record Revolution and shop. So that is that. So, oh, my pleasure for answering that question. I hope I answered it accurately. um, if you want to do an audio something like that, you can do one of two things. Excuse me, sorry. You can make a little MP3 of it, and you can send it to boxofsound@mail.com, and I'll be able to listen to it. Or you can do something even better, is you can share it with all of us by starting your own YouTube channel and putting up a video of the audio of that. So that'd be pretty cool. So if you do want to get in touch, boxofsound@mail.com is the way to do so. We can communicate. I don't check that mailbox every day, but I will try and do so on a regular basis. So, yeah, it is a shame about Record Revolution, but as time goes on, things change. But that's better than things just staying the same. I thank the residents for that one. Okay. Oh, from yesterday, Waka Wazoo should be in my hands. The new Zappa release. 5-disc set, 4 CDs, 1 Blu-ray audio with both Waka Jawaka and the Grand Wazoo in 5.1 and Dolby Atmos surround. And also high resolution, high bit transfers of the analog tapes of Waka Jawaka and the Grand Wazoo, plus new Bernie Grundman mastered 180-gram re-releases of both the Grand Wazoo and Waka Jawaka. So that's going to be very interesting. And if you want to find out more about that release, go to your favorite podcast client and check out the latest episode of the Zappacast. Scott Parker and Phil Circus, and of course, our friend the Vaultmeister Joe Travers discussed that in depth. I've listened to about half of the episode. I'm going to listen to the rest of it probably a little after I get done with this tonight. So we got about 15 more minutes to go before we're done here. But very excited about that. And then we just have to wonder, what's going to be the next thing that comes out from the Zappa camp? Don't know, because I don't get that information. But if I was somebody who would be venturing to guess, I would think that some of the stuff that was released at the time of Zappa's departure from Warner Brothers, which is about 40 years ago, it's hitting the 40-year anniversary. It could very well be something along that lines as far as archival releases. As far as live stuff that's ever been released, no idea. While I do talk to Joe Travers, he doesn't tell me anything he's not supposed to tell anybody else. So he's very good about that, and he's had a very good history of it. He's a great guy. So okay, now what's this here? Does this voice sound weird? That is the title of the video in which my attempted sound voice. Okay, I'll take it face value for that, Chief Dancing Ostrich, with an E at the end. So earlier this evening, I watched a documentary from 2017 from the BBC called David Bowie: The Last 5 Years. And my wife and I are going to be seeing the Bowie documentary Moon Age Daydream soon. I don't know if anybody else has seen this already or not. Excuse me. Moon Age Daydream has been in the theaters, and it is available streaming, albeit for a fee. But since we do have limitations on mobility and we don't get to the theater as often as we'd like to, we're going to watch it streaming. So we watched this, and it's about the last 5 years of Bowie's life, how he did the albums The Next Day and Black Star, and also a pet project of his, the musical Lazarus. And lots of footage that nobody's ever seen before. Great interviews with Bowie, his band, the last band that he toured with, the bands that were on both The Next Day and the band that was on Black Star. Very, very fitting, loving tribute to Bowie. I was in tears. What can I say? So check that out if you're into it. Oh, what else is going on here? I think I wrote everything down that I was interested in covering tonight. Yeah, even though I got my flu shot this year, as I do every year at the beginning of October, I got a little bug and I was sick for about 24 hours, had a fever, didn't want to eat anything. It was terrible. So, haven't listened to these Robert Fripp albums for a long time, except digitally. So I'm going to have to start cleaning these puppies up. Exposure. The League of Gentlemen. God Save the King. Network. Let the Power Fall. an album of Ferbertronics. And God Save the Queen under Heavy Manners. And just about all of these records are damaged at the bottom here because I got these records back in the late 70s, early 80s. And when CDs started becoming the predominant form and records went away for a while, I had my records stored in boxes, and I moved a couple of times. And one time it was in a relative's house that I had moved into for about a year or so, and there was no other place for my records, so I had them in boxes in their basement. And there was a flood, and I got my records out of there as quickly as possible. But there's probably about a couple hundred of my records out of the 5,000 or so that I have here that have this damage at the bottom of them. It's very sad. Every once in a while, if I can find another copy with a good cover and messed up. What?
I am so sorry I took too long.
Took too long for what? What'd you go for? Where'd you go? Yeah, zip up there.
I unbuttoned it.
You unbutton. Oh, that button. It's not a zipper. Okay. Roman's back to finish off the show.
Wait, how long was I gone?
I think for a good half an hour. But I had plenty of things to talk about, so it's okay. You can come on my live stream anytime that you want to.
Wait,
because you're a good person.
can you show me all of the of those?
What, these things? Well, I talked about
No.
what? What is it? Roman's controlling the screen.
You do not put WTF.
Well,
Do not.
that's much better than saying the actual words, right? Yeah. Yeah. We try to keep it clean here, although sometimes we have a problem doing that. But sorry about that. Sorry that you had to see that. I'm sorry that you know what that means at your tender young age. But anyway, I talked about some records, and I talked about a record store that's going to be closing down at the end of the year that I used to go to a very long time ago. Uh-oh, what?
I want to see all of them.
All of them? So that's when you were here. See, this one person who also put that thing down there was asking me about if they record their voice and slow it down and then listen to that and then imitate it with their voice and then speed it back up, why does it sound so funny? So I tried to explain that. So that's that. So let's get back to what we were talking about when you were here. What song are you going to be playing electric guitar on?
Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle Bell Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is that the one that Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock?
Oh, it's not like that.
Oh, okay. How does it go?
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock.
Let's see.
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell.
So the D.
Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing, blowing, bushel fun. Now the Jingle Bell Rock has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. That's how you do it.
Okay. Very cool. I can't wait to see you do it. So you're going to be playing an electric guitar. What color is it?
Blue.
It's blue.
Just like my favorite.
Oh, how cool is that? Nice. Okay. We're going to be doing that. All right. So we're just about ready here. Let's go back down here. And let's see here. No new comments. Next week, let's see, we're 1 week closer to the holidays. It'll be the 17th. I will have the new Zappa release, and I'll be talking about it. And I might have some other reviews of recent records that I've been getting. But until then, we got about 5 minutes left. Not much else to talk about. I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. And once again, if you're watching either live or on the replay, if you liked what you saw, please press the like button. And if you want to subscribe, please do that. I try to make videos more often, and I've got other videos that are upcoming. Uh, and that's it. Had a great time. Hope you did too. Let's make some funny noises. What do you say? Press these buttons. The wonderful singing voice of Roman, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That's it, folks. Thanks. Hopefully see you next week. Good night.
Live it, live it.